Well, we have talked about the strength of India. I mean, look at it. Ever since you, Prag, Gukesh, Vidit, everybody, and even the others who have been doing well in chess, the World Chess Championship is just about 3 days away. I mean, we have heard you say many amount of times that Gukesh is the favorite. Even Ding himself accepted that yes, he is the favorite in the starting. But when we look at the World Chess Championship, what is the one strength that Gukesh has? Because you've played him so often. What is the one strength that Gukesh has? And what could be the one threat that he might encounter in the World Chess Championship?
I think this is more about Ding than about Gukesh. Uh, if like it depends a lot on like how he'll show up. It doesn't seem likely that he'll show up in like at his best or even close to his best. So yeah, because of I think that is the main reason Gukesh is the favorite. But if he manages to play at a decent level, then it will be a really interesting match because then it's like, I think the first time since Anand Sir versus Carlsen that we have like people from different generation battling. So if Ding actually shows up well in a good state, then I think it will be a really interesting match to follow.
I mean, slightly controversial here, Arjun. There was a comment by Gary Kasparov when he said the Ding versus Gukesh encounter is not actually a world championship material because you're technically not beating the best player on the planet to get it. Because if you look at it, the circumstances that Ding became the world champion was slightly off. Gukesh had to come through a very torturous route to make it to the World Chess Championship. How much do you agree with Gary Kasparov's statement that yes, this World Chess Championship isn't a reflection of beating the best player in the world and becoming the world champion?
Yeah, I think what he meant was I actually was watching it live when he said that he referred that like World Championship is something where the two best players in the world compete, but this is not quite the same. And yeah, I sort of agree with this because in terms of strength, it is like of course Magnus and Fabi are like the one and two now. Uh, but like it's not like just because they are not playing, it doesn't mean that the World Championship is not as serious or anything. And it's not like Ding or Gukesh just got it by accident. Like Ding won the previous World Championship, although it was a shaky one, he still won it, and Gukesh won this candidates. So yeah, it's not like they just got it. They proved themselves and got there.
Are you going to commentate in some of the games in Singapore? And if no, then what is the advice that you will give to Gukesh heading into the World Chess Championship? Because we're just 4 days away from the start of it.
No, I won't be commentating, and yeah, I think one of the things is like, of course, I haven't played a match myself, but I heard like people when they play for the first time, they feel like nervous and they like you wouldn't feel it beforehand, but when you sit on the board, then you start feeling all these things. So try to be as calm as possible when the first game begins.
I don't know, Arjun, if you had noticed, in the two games that unfortunately Gukesh lost to Ding in Classical, he kind of seemed to struggle with the opening. I think he lost in the English opening, if I'm not mistaken, in the Tata Steel tournament of 2023. Do you think that there are certain moves, the opening moves, which trouble athletes in a way, or do you think we are reading too much into the opening games in that sense?
I think at that point, like at the beginning of 2023, Gukesh's openings were not as strong as they are now. So yeah, he did get into an unpleasant situation out of the opening, and yeah, that is one of the reasons why he lost in 2023. And 2024, it was a complicated battle, and yeah, that game Ding just seemed to have played better.
Indeed.